Good morning. This is Janet, and welcome to the monthly book review at the West End Library in Laurelton, Pennsylvania. This month I will be reviewing a book by popular author Faye Kellerman entitled The Hunt, which is in the Decker Lazarus series of books. I have read Faye Kellerman books before and had enjoyed them, therefore I thought I would give this latest release a go. There was a lot of action taking place in two different parts of the U.S. and two different storylines. However, the main characters' lives and interactions were intertwined. Missing people, a murder in one storyline that involves the expertise of Detective Peter Decker, who is desperately trying to retire. Following a trip to Israel with his wife Rena Lazarus, Peter comes back home to become embroiled in the questionable identification of a murder victim and the whereabouts of two young people. It's a crazy back and forth with trying to obtain evidence and figure out any details of what happened. Also, at the same time, Terry McLaughlin, who is the natural mother of Peter and Rena's foster son Gabe, is attacked savagely in Los Angeles, where one of her two younger children has been abducted. Terry had recently left the Middle East and spirited the children away from their father. Having no one else to call, she reaches out to Gabe, who then connects to his natural father, Christopher Donati, to go to Los Angeles and help Terry. Terry and Christopher had split up many years ago, with Terry remarrying a doctor from the Middle East, and she was trying to escape his control and the society she was living in. Christopher finds Terry and her daughter and takes them to his place in the desert of Nevada. Due to his continued feelings for Terry, he feels that this may present him with a second chance to show Terry how much he loves her and how important she is to him. They had been high school sweethearts, and Terry had left Christopher when he began to be involved in the pornographic business with houses of ill repute, companion services, gambling establishments, and other very questionable business practices with which he became very prosperous. These two storylines go back and forth and eventually overlap. Christopher pays off debts that had been incurred by Terry's doctor husband in the Middle East, and eventually makes a trip to the Middle East and brings back Terry's son, who had been returned to his father by the people who had beaten Terry up. There are a lot of women and men who work for Christopher, not only in his business, but in more prominent roles in managing the businesses. Terry makes a complete recovery after several months, and in the meantime, back on the East Coast, Peter's continuing his investigation. The two storylines in The Hunt are so bizarre that even the old cliche of "you can't make this stuff up" makes The Hunt a literary cliche. I personally at first found reading The Hunt very confusing, and as the stories continued, I felt it was too crazy and made up. In the storyline with Christopher and Terry, there was a lot of sexual situations that I felt did not need to be there, but I guess because of the nature of Christopher's business, it was to be expected to be written in somehow. I did not like this book, but some of you may find it interesting and captivating. Hopefully that will be the case, and some of you read Faye Kellerman's The Hunt.